Greetings, this is Chloe participating in Ethony's 31 Days of Tarot. I missed a few days because my internet went down for about 5 days. We had to get people to come fix things. So I'm trying to get through the last few days. I think I have to do about 5 days. So right now I wanted to cover the 27th day. What is the tarot spread you're working on right now? And evidently extra points if you show it. So let me pause and turn the camera around and down so you can see the spread. All right, sorry this is going to be a little wiggly and jiggly because I have to hand hold this camera. So I will do the best I can to not make it too jiggly. I call this the Triskel spread. You can start anywhere, but I kind of think of the Triskel as triple spirals, okay? So you have a center point, which you can either start at or end at, depending on what type of question you're asking. And each arm for me is a different realm. I'm really big on triple realms or threes. So you can think sky or sky, land, sea, sky, sea, land. You can change this around depending on your question and how you're feeling. I tend to like to read intuitively, so having an actual spread is an issue. To me, it's more the shape. Imagine you can start at the center, get a spiral going, cycle back out, go to the next spiral, and so forth, either under to it or over to it, depending on how you're working the spiral, because there's reverse spirals or forward moving spirals. And again, sometimes I might start out on the spiral and then move through and do the curves and then place this one last instead of first. This is the blender, the fire. Sometimes the question's appropriate here, and sometimes an advisory card or an end result or something after you've done the 3 spirals. This one can get bigger. You can add an extra card in your spirals. So again, yeah, depending on the question, I love this. I kind of created it myself, but more at first it wasn't even about position or spread or the normal things you think about in spreads. For me, it was more, okay, I want to look in, say, the realm of land, and for many people that's like home, work, things like that, health, maybe even. And then the realm of the sea could be anything from the emotions, how you emotionally handle things, who you're emotionally entangling with, just the realm of the sea and waters, movement and how things are going from there. Maybe even not based off of emotions, perhaps based off how you flow interacting with people. Okay. And then you have sky. Now, sky can have a similar terminology that sea does, but you're definitely dealing with, as typical with, say, air, and a little bit of fire because the sky has the sun going through it, so to speak. You have the energies of thoughts and projects and trying to manifest your ideas or apply what you've been thinking about. This would be more of the manifested stuff. This would be possibly halfway there if you were thinking as the sea is a mutable environment. And then thought would be just the essence of what could be being developed. Again, this can be read in any order. You would have to decide that before you start. But again, I don't really decide it so much as, okay, allowing my body to move in whatever formation of this as my empathic feelings, because it's a physical feeling sometimes for me and other times it's an emotional feeling. And then I just flow with it. I try to, shuffle, do whatever it is, and allow my eyes and my body movement to direct how the Triskel is going to develop, what is in each realm. And I would suggest for others, if you're not so, I wouldn't say dependent, but so leaning on empathic or empath feeling or intuitive feeling, just allow it to flow. If you like a more structured reading, I feel you could totally do that with this Triskel spread. You could be like, okay, this side's always sky or land. This one's always water. I almost always do water down here. And then sky or land is the one I tend to flip on this area here. Sky's often over here because when I am, as I have it drawn on my tattoo, it's an open spiral. The moon is on the bottom, or the ocean wave is on the bottom, and the moon or the planet is on the top of my spiral. So it kind of mimics my Triskel that I have as my tattoo. And yeah, I also like a good 9-card spread, but this is the one I created myself. And I also have kind of almost a cone, 3-card, 2-card, one or more cards at the bottom, almost shaped like a cone or a pentacle spread, so to speak, that I like to use too. But this one is a Triskel. And like I said, if I needed clarification, I could add another one here or here, or I could just add some to the center to get more information to clarify everything else. Excuse me. All right. So another question for this, let's try to combine day 27 with day 28. Favorite tarot reading accessories. As you can see from my setup here, sorry for a bit of background mess, but we finally are getting some of the rest of my furniture in next week. But for now, this is what we have. I tend to have like a sea area or a mixture of it throughout. I love having some shells, that sweetgrass bundle right there. As I mentioned before, the ammonite, I like to have that nearby to have that ancestor or allies earth energy slash sea energy. The amethyst, depending on the lighting, you get a nice bit of sparkle, and I love it more in the natural form than, say, a cut form, although I have a fluorite that's geometrically cut. This is my little crab friend with a seashell. And then I tend to have an animal in statue form. I have a frog that I tend to bring out. I couldn't find him right now. I think he's in one of my packed boxes. I haven't unpacked yet. And this is one of my little dragons I share with my son sometimes. He likes dragons, and so we share him. I really like how he blends in with the cloth. So a little dragon energy or ley line energy. Some stones are also in this area. And if I was doing a booth event, my booth would look very similar to this, except for maybe a sign of my readings and offerings and the costs. So, yeah. And like I said, this cloth is one of my favorites. It has the flowing butterflies taking off, some closer and some further away. And the color design matches with quite a few of my decks. It looks quite lovely at a distance, and I think it looks pretty good close up. So for me, the colors I have on, and combined with the natural energies of the natural things I tend to keep on my reading space, lend to the energies of my reading or the currents of the reading and being able to share the flow. So yeah, that sets the mood for me. I will, like I mentioned before, I tend to use sweetgrass to purify and cleanse my decks. So I don't necessarily burn the sweetgrass unless I'm at a booth event. Maybe I'll take a moment to do a little sweetgrass, but most of the time I rub it in my hands and get it warm and allow it to release scent through the heat of my hands. Again, I've just met so many people with allergies. Now, if I'm doing readings at home, I might burn it for myself, or I just might shuffle my deck and scent to see how strong the scent is on that, see whether I want to burn some more or not. My cat's playing with my area, likes all the fabric. It's my son's cat, actually. Okay, so let me pause one more time and we'll wrap up. Okay, so as you can see, yeah, my Triskel spread, I'm working on it to give it some more layers, but mostly it's an intuitive spread. And my setup, like I said, is more based off color and natural things like stones and seashells and the sweetgrass and some other things. So yeah, I hope that was interesting for you. And I will say that occasionally I have this lantern that fits a candle in it, like tea lights or other sturdy candles that I sometimes light if I'm doing a booth a little later in the evening. Maybe put a few candles in there so I have a glow of light that emanates pretty well in the lantern. But other than that, the only other thing I've done once or twice is had, twinkle lights that are in colors similar to the event I'm doing. At home, I'm reinventing my reading space as soon as I can, as soon as I get some of the furniture in. And now I just kind of place my cloths where it's convenient. So I hope you found this interesting. Yeah, this was day 27 and 28. And I've had a lot of fun doing these videos. I just want to finish them up and, yeah, do my part. Okay. Peace out. Bye-bye.